Brand new details reveal a laundry list of red flags about Navy Yard shooter Aaron Alexis, including his latest run-in with the police after the Navy raised concerns over his mental stability. He was hearing voices and a whole bunch of other things. Let's not forget this guy passed the background check just 2 months ago. How does this happen? How do we stop it? Let's ask former DHS Assistant Secretary of Infrastructure Protection, Robert Lukowski. Robert, what's the problem here, or is this just one anomaly?
No, I don't think this is an anomaly in terms of the process. I think there's a lot of improvements that can be made to this process. What's happened is the fact that the periodic updates that go on don't include an ongoing search of information that might have revealed these types of incidents.
So, for example, in this case, if he's having a problem where cops are called over and they report that he had been hearing voices and says he's being followed, there should be a system in place where that somehow affects his security clearance?
Yeah, so this is not a technology problem, and this is not an information availability problem. This is a process issue. They can improve the process. They can apply technology to be able to do continuous monitoring, so issues like this can be brought to people's attention, and they can be red flagged, and those red flags can be put to use.
There's 3,000 people in that naval yard, for example. I don't know how many are private contractors, but quite a few. How do you get on top of something like that without building up another layer of bureaucracy?
Well, I mean, the bureaucracy is in place. The processes are in place. I think in this case, people didn't do their jobs. I think when we review what happened and how the information didn't get reviewed, I think that'll show not just gaps in the process, but the fact maybe people overlooked that they should have done something about this.
Go ahead, sorry.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, there's the insider threat here. The people who have trusted access to the bases and other facilities, whether it's an office building or whether it's a secure facility, you know, the trusted insider here is always going to be one of the biggest vulnerabilities we have in this kind of process.
And as soon as you get through, you're in. And as you know, he had a gun. He had it in pieces. He put it together, grabbed another gun when he was inside, and maximized his carnage before ultimately losing his life. Here's the problem, though. This system can be abused. You have a spousal situation where one wants to get back on the other. They could be calling the cops in a situation where you're totally innocent. You could be destroying somebody's career by using some of these laws for the wrong reason. Do you fear that?
Well, I mean, it's always a fear, but if the process is a rational process and it's applied appropriately, you know, you can take the information, you can act on it, you can make judgments about it, and then you can discern whether, in fact, this is something that should preclude somebody from a clearance, or it might just be an anomaly.
Do you put Snowden in the same category as Alexis, just one violent and one is technological?
Well, again, it points to the insider threat problem. The fact that we give people trusted access, the systems have to be robust enough to be able to identify when people fall outside the bounds. In Snowden's case, he had legitimate access to the data that he actually ultimately leaked. And I heard this morning on the news that you know, the NSA has made adjustments to that process to no longer allow that type of incident to occur. You know, whether that was something they should have thought about earlier or not, you know, that's debatable, but the process, you know, continuously needs to be evaluated.
Yeah, and you're seeing here all the disqualifications: mental illness, clearance revoked for insecurity, or, of course, dishonorable discharge. Robert Lukowski, thanks so much.
Thank you, Brian.
All right, next.